It's time for the Wynonna Earp After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We have a special guest in studio. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV super fan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the Wynonna Earp After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. If you haven't already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm so excited about our guest today. We have Tamara Duarte. Yay!
Hi.
Hello, Miss Rosita herself.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hola.
Hola. Where can we find you on Twitter and Instagram and everything?
Tamara Duarte, I think.
Yep.
Yes, that's on Twitter. It's just Tamara Duarte. And then on Instagram, it's Tamara Duarte Official.
Ooh, fancy.
I got some official stuff. No, yeah. I couldn't get just Tamara Duarte. I got it back like 2 years ago. I took a hiatus from Instagram, and then when I got it back, I'm like, someone took my name. I want it back. So yeah, Tamara Duarte Official.
Well, now we know it's official. And we have Amber here. Hello,
Hey guys.
Amber.
Hello, yes.
I'm applauding.
I wasn't here last week, and we have so much to discuss. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Amber Plaster.
And if you're watching us live, we have a live chat going. Amber is keeping an eye on that, and
Yes.
we'll bring your comments to the forefront as we can. This was a information-heavy episode. We're talking season 2, episode 8, No Future in the Past.
But in a way that wasn't too much exposition, though.
No, it was
Which was really
so well done.
very creatively done.
Yeah, I absolutely love getting all this information. I'm very much I want answers type of viewer. And so I love episodes where you want answers? Answers. All up in your face. It's great. So let's start with JC. We finally got answers on who he was. Because I had all these
So
theories.
many questions. Yeah. What were your theories?
Well, so I thought he was an Earp.
Oh, that's interesting.
I definitely thought he was EE from the suitcase. Which everyone was like, you're stupid.
Well,
Hello.
but how could she have the powers if he was an Earp?
Girl, I don't know. I didn't think it through. That was my theory. But we got answers.
Do you have a theory?
No, every time I saw Juan Carlo, I was like, why? I was so annoyed with him, and I was like, Doll said something about being a bystander, which we'll discuss later, which we all really liked. But for me, Juan Carlo was this unhelpful, but sort of helpful, but mostly unhelpful character that I was like, can you just not? So when he died this episode, I was like, good, because I can't with Juan Carlo. Sorry.
You're right about his bystander, not bystander thing, because he does get involved. He's a liar, right? So Juan Carlo, I wanted to call him JC. Juan Carlo, he's immortal. He can survive and witness. He cannot interfere. He can't make people do things.
Well, it's kind of like Doc. Isn't that the same thing?
No, Doc can absolutely interfere.
Yeah.
Doc's an interfering kind of guy. He may or may not have impregnated Wynonna.
Well, that's definitely interference.
Right?
There's a lot of interfering happening there.
But JC interfered when he helped dolls, right? Is that not interference?
He shared information. He didn't really ever do anything.
He brought dolls back to town.
Did he?
That's what he told him. He was like, "Who brought you back to town?"
Jeez.
Yeah, I call that interfering.
Yeah.
I feel like he has a loose definition of what is interfering and what isn't.
He kind of reminds me of a character that's trying to stay neutral but wants to be good.
Yes.
So he's like, "Oh, I'm not helping you. The hint's over here."
Right. I can't tell you that you're getting colder as you walk away.
Exactly.
That's totally who he is. So he convinces Wynonna to go on this voluntary vision quest. Which,
Go or don't.
yeah.
Or don't.
See, that's what I'm saying. So she goes on the vision quest, and we get all of these answers about Doc, about Bobo.
So many answers.
What was your big takeaway, favorite thing that you learned in this vision quest?
That poor man, I have so many emotions about Bobo now. Like, we brought Bobo back just long enough to break our hearts. Like, he's so nice, and he's such an incredible actor. And to see him be so weak and get pushed around by Doc, and to literally die for Wyatt Earp, and just the whole episode was so well done. And even the very beginning of the Vision Quest was really my favorite. Like, I've always said that, like, Wynonna Earp is kind of like a lower budget show, and like the eyes and the demons have always taken me out of it. This episode like was executed perfectly. Like, they did so good with the time travel and going back in time and changing locations. Like,
I was the transition in Shorties.
The
transition, I was never taken out of it, and it was just so beautifully done.
Yeah.
Yes. Huge fan of this episode. Really, I think it's one of the best.
And you got to see a different side of Doc too.
Yeah.
A weaker side.
Yes.
Where it's like
a little more gnarly side,
yeah,
too.
a little more gnarly, bad kind of.
But like not
Yeah.
see, Doc's always been kind of like a bad boy, but
Yeah.
now he was a jerk face.
Yeah.
He was not a bad boy, he was a jerk face.
Yeah.
That's a censored
Jerk face.
jerk face.
Well, he was also dying.
No, he was also dying, and I think that's very real. You know,
Don't defend him.
dying.
Says the Doc Holiday fan club over here.
Yeah, exactly. No, but
Sorry.
it's real. It's like, what if you were dying? What would you do? I would be selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm keeping this ring on. I don't care what you do.
And he doesn't know who's at the top of the well talking to
Yes,
him.
100%.
And when you're panicked, you don't.
I love how much you guys are defending him. It's so cute. So I definitely agree. The whole Bobo, I really appreciated because I felt like Bobo season 1 was just a demon and was just a bad guy, but there was clearly there was something more with this whole Waverly thing that we didn't understand. And so this episode to go, oh, he was part of the crew. He was a good guy, and his death was a sacrifice, and he got screwed over. What an amazing twist I did not see coming at all. Did you?
No.
Finally, something you didn't see.
Finally, something I didn't see coming, guys. And I really like that Wynonna was kind of like, try to remember who you were. And that's why, if you go back and rewatch season 1, he does struggle with his identity, and he tries to be nice, but he's not. And he tries to be nice, but he's not. And now it makes sense.
Totally. And I feel like you can watch all of season 1 all over again. And
Yep.
that's what makes this episode so amazing. Is like, I want to go back and watch all of season 1 to put the pieces together and to know what I know now.
Yep.
Be like, oh, that's why.
Absolutely.
So that's what's so good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially the whole story with Constance Clutie, with the widows.
Yes.
So Sheriff Clutie and his 3 wives. I have questions about that.
3 wives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Questions.
I'll hold on to my questions.
Yeah.
How do you live with 3 wives? That sounds exhausting.
It probably, I know people who do. Well, I don't know them, but I watch them on Netflix. Like, I don't know.
People like this do exist. Yeah, it just
They
sounds
do.
exhausting.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot.
Right? Okay, so those are my main questions. So we find out that Constance Clutie she's a widow. She's not one of the widows, but she's the 3rd wife with the widows. No one's as excited
Bitch,
about it.
traitor.
Yeah.
That was the best.
So she was part of the team that put the widows in the box. JC was part of that team. I like when they were like, something would have to be so powerful to open it. It's like dynamite.
Isn't it so funny
That's
how
great.
the people in the past cannot imagine the things that we take for granted now, like traveling more than 60 miles per hour, or like opening up small wooden boxes. Like, it's like, no one will ever get past this with this lock and key, and people in the future are like,
Well,
That's one of the benefits of time travel is you can be like, you're dumb, let me fix this. And we have this great situation with the seals, because we know this season we've been searching for the seals, but I at least haven't picked up on what it is that why we're searching for the seals. And this episode we get told exactly what the seals are, why we're searching for them, why they matter, and that Sheriff Clutie wants to return. I freaking loved this episode and this whole story in the past and the whole Bobo thing.
the Bobo thing for sure. Yeah, the past is like you said. It was seamless the way it happened.
And as you were saying earlier, the way that we got the information really felt genuine. And so thank you to JC for sacrificing himself
Yeah.
so that we could get all these answers.
It was time.
It was. You're like, oh yeah.
You're not a fan of Juan Carlo.
I'm a fan of that actor. He's incredible. But, like, just getting... I mean, I even actually like Dolls a lot this episode, which he said so much what the viewers were thinking. Was like, have you ever thought about just sitting down and having dinner with us and explaining things? And I was like, thank you. And that is why I'm okay with JC being done.
I really like the idea of this ghost in town that knows the answers and like shows up when he's needed most. And I kind of am sad that we can't expect him to appear again.
No, I need more answers than that. I need more than that. I don't need a sort of helpful ghost of purgatory.
I need a sort of helpful ghost. I'm okay with sort of.
I mean,
helpful.
I get it. I get his appeal is what I'm saying.
All right.
He like pops in once in a while. He's like, this is what you got to do or don't.
It's like when people disappear, like automatically Dolls was like, Juan Carlo. Like people know it's him.
Oh, yeah, when Nedley was like, well, yeah, it was this car. Okay, it's Juan Carlo.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone's like,
Yeah.
come on.
He's a wily fellow. No, that's not an okay thing for a sheriff to think of you. Is that you're just a wily fellow. That's cool. But back to Dolls, right? So we have Dolls going against the order, kind of, when he brings in the hot fireman. He has a name, right?
The hot fireman.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You know what I'm talking about.
I also refer to him as the hot fireman.
Yeah.
And the reason is because he's very lukewarm when it comes to helping Wynonna, so he doesn't get a name yet until he becomes helpful.
I like it. But he, when Dolls was trying to get information out of him, he says, Dolls says to him, neutral men are the devil's allies. This was a quote
that was so good. Emily.
You had me
That
me
quote
write-
is
make note.
fire. Can we repeat that quote?
Yes. and I'm
Neutral
gonna Twitter
men
it.
are the devil's allies.
Can you? Sorry, I totally talked over you.
Neutral men are the devil's allies.
That's right.
It's so true. Because you think about like relationships in your life right now, and you're like, you're a neutral man. I don't know if I trust you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're on his side. We can go through a breakup, and then you have friends that are neutral, and you don't stay friends with the neutral people. You gotta pick a side.
Yeah.
Gotta pick a side.
It absolutely, I think, is a very like fancy way of being like, you're either with me or you're against me.
Pretty much.
But it's a fancy, pretty way because Emily wrote it.
Yes.
They're saying his name is Ewan.
Yeah, hot fireman.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Hot
Hot
fireman.
fireman.
Sure. That's his name.
I remember
Sure.
when we said that, and I went, hot fireman. I like that he appeared in this episode.
Yes.
I would have liked it better if he was wearing less. Okay, so when the Dolls ends up at the church and he has this fight with the widows, you were pointing out that he was going to shoot them and that was not going to do anything.
No.
Okay, that was my question. I was like, why doesn't he shoot them? He points the gun at them, but then he doesn't shoot
It's not
them.
going to
Yeah,
do
do
anything.
anything.
Then that was I was like,
Yeah.
does it just go through them? But then why would they run?
So I think the reason they ran, I thought
Yeah.
about this, was because they had poisoned him and he had
Impossible.
dragoned, he dragoned himself out of freezing to death.
So they were like,
maybe-
oh, we don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't know if he can turn into a dragon, like lickety split, and then
like, screw it, we're out.
Yeah, blow fire all over them, and then they're dead. So I guess he could kill them that way. I don't know.
I want to find out. I want to see dragon versus widows. I really like when he's a dragon. That's my favorite type of dolls, is dragon
Dolls with no shirt on.
Yes, with no shirt on. All right, so that is the Vision Quest Bobo seal situation. We find out that the third seal is, in fact, Doc's ring, the ring that is keeping him alive.
Yes.
Any other thoughts, Amber, on the Vision Quest, the seals, the widows, dolls, Bobo? Because we have so much more we need to talk about.
I had some notes on dolls here.
Yes.
Oh, good dog.
Just because I think I just wrote that I love how Dolls takes neutral fireman to town on not being a bystander. Like that whole scene is about like, hey, do the right thing. Hey, do the right thing. Hey,
With the
do
hot
the right
fireman?
thing. Yeah, and I just loved it. It just he pounded that whole scene was just that one message, and I just ate it up.
I appreciated that the high fireman pointed out, like, this is what we do. We don't get involved with the seals. We don't get involved with Wynonna. We kill demons. That's our job. That's our priority.
Exactly.
And Dolls was like, that's what we're doing.
Like, we're on the same side. And he's like, no, you have other things that you...
Yeah.
They're like, no, we have different priorities. We're Sweden. We're like, cool.
This is why the hot fireman should just be a hot fireman.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve his magical powers.
Nope.
I really enjoyed Dolls this episode being instead of his normal hot and cold self.
Yes.
Being actually just great, all around great.
Yeah. Yeah, like that the when they're in bed together is really sweet. So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's only being nice because he's getting attention from her this episode, but see if he's that nice when he's not getting attention from her.
See when the baby comes, and then, you know, are you going to be that nice?
Well, let's talk about the baby.
Yes.
I don't know why I kept being like, the baby.
The baby.
I don't know why that's how I say it now, but that's what I say about babies. So, Doc, I'm really glad that we didn't have to see Doc tell Rosita because... Like, I didn't want to see that fight. But I do appreciate that now she knows we're not waiting. We're not holding this secret. We're telling her right now.
Yes, yeah.
And so he's like, befriend these people now.
Yeah,
because,
you don't have a choice.
Yeah. What do you think was going on in Rosita's head when she was, like, forced to make friends?
I think she just wants to be liked by this because she does like, I think it's like this weird triangle or more than a triangle. But I think she does it for Doc, you know? She definitely does it, and she does it because I can't say that. I can't say. There's only so much I can say because you find out next week.
As of this episode,
I was just about to give you a spoiler. My God.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. No.
So what we know so far, right?
Yes.
They're in a relationship.
Yes.
They've been together.
And there's history there. They definitely have.
Will we get the history?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll get.
we
some
had
of it,
hints of it.
Hints of it.
Of
Yeah.
him protecting her.
Yes.
And her needing that further protection.
And I think that's another reason why she does what she does is protection, but also I think she just wants to be like liked and I think accepted. She's like living in this world with all of these people and she just like, okay, if I'm going to be here, then I want to make things right. I want to like do the best that I can and put my best foot forward. And I think that's what she's doing. And yeah. What do you think?
So you know how I feel about Rosita. I don't trust her.
We've had similar comments in the chat. Is like, they want to know, Tamara, can we trust Rosita?
Can we trust her?
Can you say?
I can't say.
Okay.
Well, that's what's great about her character is just like there's mystery. There's a lot of mystery, but Emily's really good at answering questions,
That's
so
true.
you got to stay tuned.
Yeah, we were talking about how she's not only good at answering questions, she's good at being like, you're going to have this question.
Yes.
I'm going to at least address that you're going to go,
yeah.
Wait, what about this?
Yeah, for sure.
But so all we know about Rosita as viewers, all we know is she has a past with Doc. Mm-hmm. She's a genius. She's actually very smart. Mm-hmm. And she seems to be completely like okay and aware of demons and fighting with the demons and like she's totally like there are demons. Yeah,
she's versed in it somehow. Yeah,
it makes you wonder.
See, I don't trust her.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if she's not immortal or something like that because she's so comfortable with what other people in the town aren't comfortable with, which is talking about the supernatural.
Yeah.
Like she's
and I know Doc.
Yeah, and you know Doc.
And I know Doc as Doc.
Well,
not me, but Rosita.
Yeah.
Rosita knows Doc as Doc well, and they have a history. So those are a lot of clues.
Yeah.
To what's to come. But I think with her then this baby shower and all of that stuff, it's real life human stuff. Like just trying to do the best that she can with the situation that she's in. And I'm a stepmom in real life, so I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I love you, so I'm gonna do this, fine. So it's like very much similar to my character in that sense, so like just trying to put your best foot forward and be a good person.
Yeah.
I really enjoy watching Rosita, who is rough around the edges. I mean, she's like, I'm gonna throw a baby shower, but it's gonna be in a bar because that's Well, we have. It's fine.
It's fine.
Also, we're gonna make mocktails. I'm putting alcohol in them. Also, here's a piñata.
It's a baby.
It's a baby.
I lost it. It was amazing.
I love the baby piñata. That is, I think, the greatest thing ever. Was that made for the show or was that purchased? Do you know if someone went and found this?
No, they made it.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely made that thing.
I just want to know if there was a place to buy
it was
one.
great. It was so fun to play with on set. It was so fun. We took care of the baby. Don't worry. We didn't hit it. It was a great baby. We didn't.
I guess at least we didn't have the visual of Waverly beating a baby or something.
I really want to see
we did.
Wynonna.
We did have. There is on my Twitter.
Oh, of that
and my
happening.
Instagram of a boomerang of her hitting the baby with the baseball bat.
You have to check
but
that
it was
out.
just cute. It was just like cute, like, I'll just tap it. So we're good.
This is what it would look like if we did beat babies.
See, I really want to see a pregnant Melanie beating the crap out of this baby.
And taking out the donuts and eating them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, totally.
Now that everyone's back, will there be a baby shower? Like, will that fit?
I don't think there's going to be time.
I do. There is time.
There's always time for tequila.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a baby. I don't think there's going to be
piñatas.
time.
No?
There's too much happening. She got pregnant like lickety split. Now she's like ready to have the child, and she's super not ready for it. Like as you saw at the doctor's office, she's like, can't, I'm 9 months, so I can't put it back. Let's see there. And like she's not dealing with it well. She's just had a vision quest. When is she going to have time to attend her own baby? She's probably going to have it before she even gets back to Shorty's. That is my prediction.
That is a fair assessment.
Things are happening very quickly.
She could
for
have
Wynonna.
it on Friday. You never know.
Yep.
Or she could have it or not have it.
Yeah.
Or not have it.
Yeah, that's something that Melanie said when I talked to her at Comic-Con. She was like, I was like, when is the baby coming? She's like, maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not. Yeah, no, it's true.
What do you mean maybe it's not?
Babies die all the time.
Oh my god.
This just got real dark.
Really dark. Super fast.
Well, I think that's what she's saying. Is she's like, well, it could be half Revenant, and then that complicates things if it's on
She could
the
lose
sacred
the baby,
ground.
is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
So many questions.
Hopefully, no one takes that clip of me saying that
Yeah.
out of context.
I suggest you all do. Well, we have Waverly, speaking of who's the daddy situation. Waverly doesn't know if she's an Earp. But we have, early on, she's talking about the story of when she fell through the ice and who pulled her out. And Wynonna tells her that her mom, called her angel, but that no one seemed to care.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I'm the third child. I'm the baby. I also, we didn't buy my pictures. No one looked at my report cards. Like, girl, you're just the baby. At that point, they've done it twice and they don't care.
Yeah, they've done it 3 times.
Yeah.
And they don't care. Like, now I'm like, I'm going to get married and have a wedding. And they're like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I might come, I might not. Like.
So Waverly needs another friend who's like a third or more child to be like, no, at that point, they've done it already.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't care about you. It's that they're over it.
Yeah. Yeah. I asked my mom what time I was born. She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, do you have my birth certificate? She's like, it's not written on your birth certificate. I'm like, you didn't write it down? So I don't, for the rest of my life, I'll never know the time I was born. Seriously, real life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your parents don't care.
No.
No, but that's the thing.
I know they were like really chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like,
Super laid back.
But there's that diaper commercial where it's like first baby and everything's baby proof, and then second baby they pick up
Whatever.
something dirty and blow on it and give it to the child.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is.
As a
Even with
firstborn,
food.
I can attest to that. I had a baby book. I had all the things. My brothers didn't. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's pretty jacked up.
Yeah, so Waverly
They were
needs
like,
to get over it.
Yeah.
It's not like her parents didn't
Also,
care.
her
It's
parents
that-
weren't great, if I recall. Like from the pilot episode, they were like drinking all the time and
Yeah,
shooting
so she's like,
guns.
my mom left, and then dad died, and Willa was mean, so,
Willa was so mean.
Yeah.
I feel like she's meaner in her death and her flashbacks than she
Flashbacks.
was in season 1.
yeah. But you always have that sister that's like, I have a shit ton of sisters, so you always have that one sister that's like, ha.
Oh man, well, I'm glad I have all brothers.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so we get a DNA test with, Waverly submits for a DNA test. Hot has the answers and doesn't give it to her. But we still don't know the result. Amber, what are you thinking? Is Waverly an Earp?
we were kind of discussing this a little bit before the show. Would it be more interesting? Would it be more powerful? Would it be more conflict and more story for her to be an Earp or to not be an Earp? No pun intended. I think personally it would be more interesting for and more empowering for Waverly, because we are all fans of Waverly, for her to be an Earp.
Okay.
I think Wynonna can get injured. I think that she can die for a few seconds, and I think Waverly can carry the torch for temporary amounts of time. And I think that would make for great episodes. I would love to see Waverly come into her own a few seasons from now, and kind of be like finally accepting that she's an Earp. I don't know. I think it makes for a more interesting storyline if she is.
Okay.
What about the baby? There's a baby now, so if the baby is born,
She's not the direct lineage. Well, if the baby is half demon,
Right.
then it's not going to work.
Exactly.
But I also feel like if the baby was half demon, wouldn't Wynonna be having a way harder time? Wouldn't she be feeling things when she's in trouble or distress, or on the homestead where revenants are not allowed? Like, wouldn't she be feeling it if it was a revenant in like a really bad, painful way? I feel like we would have seen way stronger signs of it being
More
evil.
so than what we see.
More so than what we see. That's why I think it's Docs.
Okay. I think I want Waverly to be an Earp, mostly because I think she spent so much time being like, I'm not one of them. And so now to like struggle with, this is my life, I think would be more interesting for sure. Because she's like, I clearly am not. There's something wrong. I'm different. It's like when you think you're adopted, and then I thought I was hoping I was adopted, and then I was shown pictures of my grandmother and saw that I looked identical to her, and went, well, I guess that's not happening. I think that's the kind of thing she's gonna have to deal with now, is that this is her life.
Yeah.
There is no other option. And I think that's why Nicole didn't show it to her, not because it said that she wasn't.
I think Nicole didn't show it to her because she's trying to feel Waverly out. Waverly's a little, for lack of a better word, crazy right now. Like, I mean, she's going through a lot, and her sister's in crisis. Like, this is
And her other
not a
sister
good
died.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
her other sister just died. Like, not, even though she didn't care for Willa that much, like, her sister just died. Like, it's a lot to handle, and I think Nicole had every right to just, like, wait until the time was right to bring this up to her newly minted girlfriend.
And the fact that she opened her mail. Like,
That is,
opened her
yeah,
mail.
that is, first of all, that's illegal.
It's
You're
a
a
little
police
weird.
officer.
Yeah.
But I think, we know that Hot's intentions are always good.
Good. Yeah.
Always.
Always for her better interest,
Yeah.
for sure.
And the other thing that I think we always forget is that Waverly's like 21. So, like, she's a young, emotional kid. No offense to 21-year-olds watching. Young, emotional, immature child.
We have people
Just finding
saying
herself. Yeah.
that Peacemaker zapped her in episode 6 because the baby was a Revenant. I don't think so. I think Revenant
we had it,
protects
yeah.
the owner and wakes it up when it's in trouble. So I don't think that could be the only reason.
That was the one where they fell asleep. Everyone was thinking
time.
that's, yeah. Well, I want to get more answers about Rosita, but you can't tell us
And when
anything.
you're ready, the chat has questions for Rosita that I've been writing
Oh,
down.
yeah.
So
Let's do it.
are we ready for that?
I
Okay.
want, yes.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Especially because I can be like, tell me what's going to happen. And she's going to go, no.
I can't.
That's true.
Emily might kill me.
Questions, please.
Okay, cool. So, first question is,
Yes. Find it.
does Rosita ever exist outside of Shorty's?
Not if it's cold outside. We're shooting in minus 30. I'm happy I wasn't outside in those outfits. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
She's just as half naked as Waverly is.
Oh, yes. Half the time, the sound guy's like, I just don't know.
I don't know where to...
Like, what do we... Boom? Okay, I guess. Like, literally everything's see-through. But, okay, so...
Yeah, I
Shorties.
really liked this outfit today.
They did a good job. Does she? Yes, she does.
We met her outside of Short.
Yeah, we met her.
You met her outside of Shorty's, and you will continue. She will be in and out of Shorty's and in other locations. And that will be next week.
What kind of locations?
Can't tell
Okay.
you.
Locations where revenants can't go? Okay.
Excellent questions.
Okay.
These are all great questions.
Yes.
Okay. we did kind of cover Can We Trust Rosita? We said that's, going to give away too much of the next episode.
I said
so,
no.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that Rosita has good intentions, whether or not she has a mixed family tree, which would be my suspicion. I think Rosita's a good person.
What do you mean a mixed family tree?
Well, if she's magical or revenant or immortal or anything like that, which we can't ask because it will be probably revealed soon.
So
Yes, it will definitely. And then we can talk about that because that's really interesting in so many different ways.
I
That
have to have you come back for the finale or something.
Yeah. So the answers we get are next week.
some of them.
Some of them.
I mean, the first one with locations. Yes, I will be in a different location next week, guys.
All right.
I exist outside of Shorty's.
But there's a reason why Rosita's in Shorty's. It's so that Doc can protect her.
Yes.
That's why she's only ever in one location. So I don't. She could be fine. She could just be there for protection.
And she also works there.
Yes.
But
She
it's
also
also-
like
She works there
mans the
for
bar
protection.
And lives there.
and lives there
upstairs.
For protection.
upstairs.
With Doc,
That's true.
as we saw, as we recall.
During the time traveling episode.
Yes.
Cool.
Which time travel? This was also a
Oh,
time
the
traveling
time
episode.
freezing episode.
Yes.
Time freezing.
Not the time
Yes.
traveling.
Season 2, episode 6, guys. I remember. So Sarah said, I love that they film in the small town of Alberta. So when they have to make changes to the town over in an old-time town, they don't have to do too much. So the question is, Rosita, was it integral to saving dolls? Was Rosita integral to saving dolls? And will we see Rosita make more contributions to the team?
Yeah, because she helped with the
With
cure.
the dolls.
'cause
Yeah.
she's a-
And then now it's like, well, I have, what's my use besides slinging cocktails?
I mean, I think Doc has a use for her.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
I'm just
yes.
saying.
No, but I think definitely it was integral in. Jeremy came along, and then there was that whole situation. But I definitely think that dolls needed. She injected him, and that was important because I don't think anyone was ready to take that step, and she did it. So,
And she also had the knowledge to know that it was time.
yeah, for sure. Well, he did it himself,
Right.
technically.
But she had it, and she was a very an important part of making it.
Yes, yeah. So, will she make more contributions to the team? I think so. Maybe not. I can't give you any answers.
But will
No.
they be helpful
Yes.
contributions? Though?
Helpful? Yeah.
But-
will it be good
yeah.
or bad?
Will it be evil like a revenant?
Whoa. Will we get to see more Rosita Jeremy action? Because I really
Yes,
think
for
they're
sure.
so cute together.
Yes, yeah.
Especially if
I
they both
love-
like the same guy. What?
Who doesn't Jeremy like? He likes everyone.
Poor Jeremy.
Jesus. Just find a boyfriend already.
Yeah, choose.
Will Jeremy get a boyfriend?
Will Jeremy get a boyfriend? On the next episode of Wynonna Earp. No. Yeah, so we have another question here. It is, what is your favorite scene to shoot so far, if you can tell us? Maybe up until this point.
Up until this point. My favorite scene up until this point, I think it would have to be the scene where I ask him where he's going. Like the whole scene where like he's like, oh, Rosita, like they're a part of my life, and you need to kind of. So that was like a lot to take in, and that was an interesting moment. But the scene that I really, really, really loved was with Melanie, and it's coming up, and you guys will know exactly what that scene is when it happens. You're gonna be like, oh my god. So that's all I can say.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
didn't get any answer as to where he was going this episode. Right? Doc leaves.
Well, I think he's going to address that. He's been marked, and so they said, okay, make your peace because he's coming for you to, I guess, arrest you and kill you. And I don't know if that has anything to do with his immortality or not. I would guess that I think that his immortality is being put in jeopardy right now, and I think that he's distancing himself from the people that he knows and loves, including Rosita.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know what he's doing, like exactly what he's doing. But that's the vibe that I got, is like, I can't tell you where I'm going because it'll be too dangerous. That whole thing.
I'm going to the cell flats. Don't wait up.
I feel like I want to disagree with you.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's back to like at the beginning of the season where he was clearly up to something and we didn't know, and then you had predicted that they were making a cure for dolls.
Wow, you predicted
yeah,
that?
Yeah, she's so smart and I hate it. But
Yeah.
but so like that's
I would not want to watch any show with you. I'd be like,
It's really terrible. That's why when I find a show that I can't figure out, like Westworld, I'm like,
oh yes,
what?
yes.
I've been fooled. Like, it's such a treat for me.
That's
It
great.
truly
Well,
is.
so imagine what every show is like for me because I'm always fooled. but because
You mean entertained?
yes, I really want it to be that he's doing something positive that we don't know about, but we eventually will, like that first situation. But because you're always right, I think you're right, and I don't want you to be because I would like to be right once, but also I'd like him to be off doing something positive that like we don't know about.
Doc?
Yeah.
No.
Great. Thank you.
I love Doc, but he doesn't.
Right now, he's being very selfish.
Yeah, no.
Fine.
Like he's like think about it. It's
But
like,
I don't want him to be.
he's
I think the
100% being
most
very
selfless we've seen Doc is taking Rosita in and leaving the note for Wynonna, and I think that is all the kernels of niceness we get from Doc.
Okay.
Doc has things that he needs to do.
Yeah,
and
he has
he's
his own demons.
He's a gnarly character. We forget because we like him that he is not a lawful good character.
You're such a nerd.
He is chaotic neutral, you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we love it.
Do we have other questions?
We do. Every time I click on it, it goes all the way down to the bottom. Sarah asks, is Rosita a unicorn? Because that would blow Waverly's mind.
Oh my God. I actually got Dom. So I was at Target, and they don't have Target in Canada.
Right.
And I saw in the kids section, because she's so little, I saw this really awesome unicorn t-shirt, and I got it for her and brought it to Comic-Con. She was like super excited about it. And had a rainbow right here too.
Aww.
Super cute. Yeah.
We know that Rosita is a very skilled chemist. Would like to know why. But also, will we ever see her interact with the Black Badge, rest in peace, or Jeremy for that instance regarding your skills?
Mm-hmm. There will be scenes with Jeremy, definitely. What?
Excellent.
Yes, excellent.
Because Rosita's so confident and Jeremy is so on the other end of that spectrum.
Unconfident.
Eager.
He's easily flustered.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you'll definitely see some stuff coming up with him and I together doing stuff. Not that kind of stuff, but
No.
I mean, he's not attracted to me, so but yeah. Yeah, that's all I have. That's all. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It was so much fun working with him and doing that. That actually, you know what? That is my favorite scene. I'll take it back to that question. The scene that we did together, where I'm kind of like inching towards him and inching. That wasn't. It was written a certain way, but we added so many layers to that, and we added the inching forward, and we added because I don't know, it just kind of happened on set. But I think that was one of my favorite scenes because we just. I think that was like the second day I met him, and we just clicked right away, and it was all fun.
They? I know shows and networks are very different from one another. So when you're shooting on different TV shows, sometimes they have like a strict schedule, and sometimes they really allow you to improv. What was it like working on Wynonna Earp, just working with the crew and everything? Did they have time for improvisations like that, or growth within the script, or notes?
I think it is a little tighter. Like improv is for Mel. Like she's the one that's been given that. Everyone else kind of needs to stick to the script. You can add one thing here, but you need to get it out the way it's written, so they have it. And then I think maybe the second take or the third, like that's basically what you get is a couple takes. So if you really want to do it, then you can. And you talk to the director and you have those conversations, but it's pretty quick. It's like super, like I'm like, did that scene just happen? Was that my coverage? Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, and sometimes that's where the magic happens because you don't do it over and over and over again, and then you catch a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have, or that's kind of dulled out after that many takes. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, also it is like an amazingly written script.
There's a lot to fit in.
Emily Andress writes just brilliant,
Awesome.
hilarious.
Like, yes.
Like I take notes, and my notes are just quotes from the show.
So good.
And speaking of, we have at the end when we have the scene with Dolls and Wynonna in bed, and they're talking about before we see Bobo about enemies and friends, and Dolls says to her, "Live long enough, and we all become enemies." Why can't I get words out?
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's
that's chilling.
And also, that's not true.
But also coming
It's just
from
not
Dolls,
true. Yeah.
it feels, because nothing in this show is accidental. Nothing is just thrown in there.
Yeah.
It feels like Dolls may not stay our friend forever. I don't know. I assume like
Wow, that's a
seasons.
good
That makes me so
Perception. Yeah.
sad. And I
What
don't
do you
even
think?
like Dolls.
Amber, what do you think?
I don't. Is Dolls. Wait. Dolls isn't immortal,
No,
right?
no,
He's a dragon.
He's
He's
just
just
a dragon.
supernatural.
He's a dragon.
He's
Yeah,
a
he's supernatural.
dragon.
Yeah. So why would he say that? There's some knowingness behind that, and so I think that he's warning. I predict that he is warning about neutral fireman, and he's predicting that he is going to be an issue
I see.
because he's been a friend to Juan Carlo and the Earps begrudgingly up until this point. And if we wait around long enough, I think we're going to see another side.
All right. I think it's time we must head into predictions.
Okay. Excellent.
Predictions.
Yeah, this happens.
Now,
Okay.
your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
So Bobo is alive-ish because Wynonna died for 77 seconds. Which as soon as he was like, yeah, you died for a bit, I was like, they're back. They're all back. Bobo's back. And I got very excited.
All
Amber?
of them, all of that hard work, gone. 77 seconds.
Yeah, but
Oh.
I think the benefit is that she knows, like all the ones she's already killed, she knows where they are and how to kill them.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So she can get through the ones she's already done pretty quick.
She handled the first, what is it, 77? Was it 77 or 55?
What?
Revenants. Anyway,
Revenants?
she handled the first batch of Revenants very well. So
Yes.
if more pop up, she's now more experienced, and she has help this season. So I
of
think
it,
she
yeah.
can handle most of them except for Bobo.
I also think they're probably all waking up being like, well, I guess there's another herb, and not they're
And
going to be
not realize
surprised.
it's her.
Yeah, she has the element of surprise.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't see, aside from Bobo, I don't see the rest of them as an issue. Like the one in the mirror and the doctor who want to cut off her legs and
Yeah.
like,
I'm not really
Is she
sure.
ever going to get through all of these Revenants? That's the question. Is she ever going to get through
well,
all of them?
now that we got the hot firemen,
Yeah.
they'll help. That's
Will they?
Yeah, but
Will
literally
they?
they said
Will they?
all we're
They don't
willing
seem
to
very
do.
helpful.
All they're willing to do is kill demons.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
She has
That's
help
all-
this
yeah.
time. She has help this time, and she's a much better shooter this time. And
I thought you were gonna say she's in
And
much better
she-
shape, and I was like, girl, she prego.
well, no,
Yeah.
she's in worse shape, but she's better prepared, and she went through the first round pretty well.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be fine handling that. However, I don't know the rate at which Revenants come back from the dead, so they could
Well,
be
no,
popping
Bobo
up.
came right away.
Yeah, I
Bobo, but
assume
no, we didn't see anyone else.
I
Yeah, we
assume
did.
they all just pop
Pop
up
Okay.
the way he did.
Because they were all kind of like at a camp together in season 1 for the first few episodes, so
Right.
I kind of feel like they find each other and they're like, oh, here we are again.
Oh, well, I think they all like woke up, but now they have to find each other. They have to find the camp again.
What are your predictions for Rosita?
Oh.
Those are I
wanna
want to
hear
hear
your
Amber.
predictions,
No, I
but
want to
you
hear
know.
yours.
Oh man.
Because she's always right. You want to hear hers?
I know. I'm like, I want to know. No, no.
I feel like Rosita.
I feel like she's a psychic. She's like,
Let me feel it out. Let me feel it out. From what I know about Rosita, I think that she is going to be a complication that Doc is going to have to try to protect, and she's going to turn out being good in the end. But I don't know if that means she's immortal or magical or just like in charge of a seal or something important. Like I think she's in our lives and in this story for a very specific reason, and I think it comes with complication, but I do not think that she is ultimately bad.
Interesting.
I don't think she's ultimately bad either.
I'll
give you that.
Sorry. I just got an amazing prediction idea.
Excellent. Let's hear it.
Okay. So, when Waverly was saying that she thinks she might not be an Earp, right? And we were led to think about because of the possible Revenant baby daddy was like, I heard that people have mated with Revenants or whatever. I think Rosita is the child of a human and Revenant. And that's why she's in there like
That's why she's emotional about the baby. Mm-hmm. You were super emotional about the baby. I caught that look. Mm-hmm. 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 Like you were like, friends, baby. Like I was like, ooh, that hit a hot spot for Rosita. And I don't know that there's ever been a problem with Rosita and babies up until this episode, like or a tender part.
Which moment are you talking about?
At the baby shower.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Something gets mentioned. I don't know.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
So originally my theory was going to be that Rosita is just human and that she just has daddy issues, which is why she doesn't mind that Doc is like
I do have daddy issues.
But if her daddy is a Revenant, then it makes sense that she has these daddy issues, which is why she doesn't mind that he's 150, over 150.
No one in the show seems to mind Doc's age. Just putting that out there.
But that was my, So she's half Revenant. I also think that Wynonna will lose the baby by the end of the season and get all emotional and sad about it. Because I think that, like, show-wise, that is the best way to deal with this situation.
I think if it's half Revenant, it would be very hard to keep the baby anywhere.
Yeah, but I think that even if it's Doc's...
Oh, you still think it's not going to last, even if it's Doc's?
Yeah, I think, complications happen.
This is like... Think about... I just thought about this. So... If there's Revenants that can have babies and they're having sex with humans, there's going to be half Revenants running around purgatory.
Well, I think that was suggested that it was thought to be impossible, but then they solved that problem.
Yeah, that was Well, that we did solve that problem because I also thought it was impossible until Wynonna did it.
I know exactly. I thought it was impossible.
But also, she was super drunk, so maybe she remembered wrong.
But maybe also, it could be that it still is not possible.
Yeah.
And
there needs to be that, like, one, maybe that is Jeremy, that one person that's like, you can go to, be like, is this possible? And they're like, oh, no, it's not because of, well, I don't know.
Is that his accent all of a sudden?
Yes, exactly, because all British people are really smart. I don't know. But, like, they have this... In Buffy, what was his name?
Giles?
Yes, Giles.
We kind of had that in season 1 with the Indian witch doctor lady who like gave him the fabric and stuff, and then she died like immediately, and she was super helpful and knowledgeable, and we were like, dang.
Yes. So we need to have a Giles, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We really love the UK Men. Do you have any projects coming up that you want to plug and promote? That you're allowed to talk about yet?
I know, right? During the hiatus of Wynonna, I'm doing Longmire, which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
such a good show.
Yeah, I just went to their book. They have this book launch yesterday. And then I'm doing a show called Caught, which is on the CBC, and it's about one of the biggest drug busts in Canada. Yeah, guys, I know. It's crazy. We got drugs in Canada. So
everyone knows there's drugs in Canada.
Not joking. So, yeah, those are the two projects that are coming up.
Awesome. But if people want to keep up with you, they could do so on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, so Twitter is Tamara Duarte, and then Instagram is Tamara Duarte Official.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Yael.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Amber, where can people keep up with you?
Yeah, you guys can keep up with me and my weird predictions at Amber Plaster on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I'm here every Sunday doing Wynonna Earp and then Dark Matter and then Killjoys. It is the ABTV Sci-Fi Summer. So please check that out. We're coming up next with Dark Matter. And then Killjoys, we have Aaron Ashmore Skyping in. Also, if you've been following me on Twitter, I entered this contest. You don't have to watch the video, but please vote every 24 hours until it ends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay.
Thanks. I'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.